Donte Williams with us, and Drake London on the far side, Kana'i Mauga, close side here. We'll ask Coach to make some opening comments, and we'll take some questions.
Well, truth be told, I still don't feel like we lost that game. I feel like we ran out of time, right? I feel like we'd had another quarter, tell them what could have happened, right? But at the same time, that's a great football team out there we just played, right? You gotta respect the rivalry, respect the tradition of both programs, and we made way too many mistakes against a really, really good football team, right? Way too many mistakes from all facets, whether it was special teams, offense, defense, coaching. We all made mistakes, and we took turns making them. And that's where, what example you get it. All of a sudden in 4 quarters that, run out of time, and Notre Dame, like I say, well-coached team, really good players, and, sucks for the result.
What was your perspective on the end of the first half and what happened in that sequence there?
I wanted the ball spiked, the play before, and, they was trying to hurry up, and Key to hurry up and call the play, and he scrambled and, thought he can come back later and spike the ball, but at the same time, that play, you got receivers way down the field, so it's hard to get everybody back, so you can spike the ball.
Was that first down run with 30 seconds left in the second quarter by design or a check?
Well, it was by design because they were dropping 8. So at the same time when they were dropping 8, we thought we could all of a sudden squeeze something to, get in right, position to get some kind of points out of there before the half.
Donte, how do you explain the sheer number of mistakes when you guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game?
You know what? It's hard to say. Like I say, it's we made too many mistakes. It's not like too many mistakes just because you have 2 weeks to prepare. I mean, you could have had a day to prepare or a month. Sometimes teams still make mistakes. You come out of fall camp, you make mistakes, right? Teams get prepared for bowl games and they make mistakes. So it's not because of the amount of time, right? It sucks to say, but you sometimes see the same results. And you shouldn't see the same results from the same people or from the same program, organization. So once again, we have to make those corrections.
Drake, what's your mindset after a game like this when you play so hard and you know the not to win?
Just go back next week and all you do is try to capitalize on the next game. I mean, you got to take this one to the heart and come back stronger than ever, pretty much.
Drake, what did Keaton say to you after that final play?
Sorry,
What did Keaton say to you after that final play? So I came over and talked to you a little bit.
That was just between me and him. We just exchanged a few words, and it was all positive stuff heading into next week, and that was pretty much it.
Can I look like you hurt your hand during the third quarter? What's your status with him?
It was just a slight bend, but it's perfect now. Not too bad.
Kana'i, from what you saw, especially early on, what were the issues just generally on defense?
Mistakes. We came out with a good plan, and couldn't really execute the plays that we had in the plan. So a lot of mistakes.
Donte, is that end of the first half, start of the third quarter, the area you look back on the most as the turning point?
Yeah, I mean, that's where we keep having our Achilles heel at. So you would like to all of a sudden right before halftime that we score some points and at the same time come out and score some points again. So, I mean, we have what we wanted when we deferred to the second half, and we didn't capitalize. Like I say, I'm glad the guys that you see in the fourth quarter continue to fight, continue to try to execute, and it's even like going forward late in the game on fourth down, right? So nobody wants to sit out here and lose, but at the same time trying to still do everything that you possibly can to win a football game.
On the first drive of the game, I think Keaton took a sack on the first play and then had to scramble around before throwing it away on the third play. Did that kind of set the tone? Was he never really able to ease in back there?
I wouldn't say it set the tone because you see him at the end of the game, he's still all of a sudden firing down the field. I would like to say that, they got way too much pressure on us and, in our backfield way too much in the course of the whole game. So that is a problem when all of a sudden you see your quarterback getting lifted up off the ground. But some of those are different things. You can say it's the O-line. You can say it's, a tight end. You can say it's a running back. You can also say it's Keaton holding on to the ball. So it's not one particular person, right? It's us. It's a collective group. And like I say, it took turns in the game. And that's the bad part. When it's just one particular player, all of a sudden you can sub that player out. But when it's just a collective of things, a collective of different plays, it's hard.
Was Jackson fully available, and what's your plan for him the rest of the season?
He was not fully available, but until he gets 100% healthy, right? It's like it's a guy that tells me right before the game that he runs at 80-85% and different things like that. So, and I care about his long-term health, not just one football game. His long-term health. If he wasn't all the way right, then we'll all have an issue. So I care about just making sure he's 100% healthy before we put him back on that field.
He was cleared though?
He was cleared to an extent, right? But he's not running at 100%. He hadn't ran at 100%. He had a couple of days of practice, and still none of them really taking a hit or a rush coming at him yet. So,
Donte, when it's a lot of the same mistakes, kind of self-inflicted issues, do you change the messaging about those mistakes, or what do you say to the players in terms of moving forward past that?
Well, it's making sure if the same mistakes are made from the same players, it's about making sure we put somebody else on the field, right? At the same time, if it's schematically, it's about making sure that we correct that schematically and do something else. So, when it's the same mistakes, some of those things can't happen. And I don't want to judge yet. I want to make sure I watch the film and make sure, or at least what I saw on the field and over again. If you see that, then it needs to be different people on the field and we need to do some things differently.
So when the same people are making the same mistakes, is substituting them for one play going to send the message, or does it maybe have to be extended a little bit further?
No, it's substituting them for the game. So, the penalties is like a play or two or something like that, but that's not a penalty. Sometimes is a mistake. Penalties happen for different reasons, right? I'm talking about mistake like if it's the blown coverage, missed tackles, right? Not blocking properly. Those are mistakes that need to be corrected sometimes through personnel things.
Let's do one more.
What did you see from Keontae tonight?
I saw a guy that, ran hard, put his head down, and he got the tough yardage. At the same time, he made some guys miss one-on-one. That's what we expect out of him. Made some guys miss. He made some things happen even when some guys was in his face right at the line of scrimmage. And then at the same time, when he had an open crease, he ran. And that's what we expect out of him. Big time back.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
You can catch the rest of our players
Thank you.
when they come out of that.